very wise, knowing that there's 2 other teams with 4 alive waiting for you.
I was just about to say, because they don't know what's happening in the north side of the circle, and we do have 2 full teams, they have to be aware that that's probably going to be the case. And teams that have lost some members here is Taman taking shots towards Friendly Fire, who have done themselves an amazing job of defending from the north. So we see a P90 on Roth. That is a devastating gun to be fighting with, especially in an urban ending like this.
I mean, I feel like Friendly Fire have effectively been doing everything Gen G didn't have to. All the action, all the pressure in the city has been coming in from the east, because the circles kept shifting from the western side further towards that east. So all the players were like, oh, we'll wrap out east. Who else is going to be doing that? Yeah, everyone else was. And now, as we said, it was just a matter of time before Question Mark would have to at least somewhat commit. But this push around from Gen G, get out of the city, get some good off angles. We know PO likes to run around his own, and now he is doing it here again. But Flood, great read on where Question Mark's current position.
It's the nade, has to be careful not to be knocked. It was just cooked a little too short, but even still creeping up this wall, I do worry about Question Mark now with potentially Gen G coming on the other side of this hill.
They have to commit. Gen G's setting up down below. I think with how the circle is shrunk in now, they can't get up the hillside any longer without taking too much damage. So they want to isolate their fights. They want to wrap around. This is an effective push to try and take down Friendly Fire before they have to look up the hill, and they're executing it to perfection. PO already found 2. Now let's see if DG can push up and get the rest of them.
Roth coming in on the other side. He doesn't realize EJ is there and ready. It's just down to Pixel, and I don't know if he's gotten the res up yet. He might be all alone as DG98 coming through on the other side. Pixel will rise.
This is what Gen G does and what they do so well. Such a great up-close fighting team, but a team that don't prioritize it. A team that say, we know we're good at fighting, but we don't want to fight if we don't have to fight. But here, perfectly execution on the wraparound, finding 2. Now they have DG in on the other side, kind of mingling with the opponents. A PO setup over the top, spotting them as soon as they come on out. Pixel down to low HP.
And the amount of control, actually, I love this coming up from Gen G. They are just shredding Friendly Fires. Is just down to Pixel now. There's nothing they can do. The angles, the spread was so good.
Gen G stole Friendly Fire's playbook, read it, and set up the perfect counterplay. What a clean sweep to clear out that northern side of the city, and the circle is going to end down the hillside in their favor. This could not be set up any better for Gen G.
Well, we asked which Gen G was going to show up, and surely we see that it's the one that is going to be dominating so far in this game. As we see Loki now coming out. They'll go down, and both members of LG will die to blue.
Look at the HP. They're all sharing what looks like 50 HP in total, and just like that, 1 molly. 4v4 is on our hands. How do we approach this one? The final circle has popped. It's ending outside of the houses. So say, guys, it's an open field. Look at this approach they have. Once they leave Tyloo, it's going to be so hard.
If Petrichor can somehow just put some damage and pressure onto Tyloo, they may be able to take a little bit of that center circle. You can see with the smokes, they're actually trying to do so right now, creating a wall for them to start to close this one out.
Apply pressure, yes, but one thing here. Summer cannot get knocked.
No, he cannot.
He is the off-ankle player. They know he's there. They saw they can't get over. If he falls, that is an entire open angle for Tyloo to wrap into. And with the changes that have come through, I talked with Ixlef coming into yesterday's games, with the changes that have come through in the team Summer, former IGL on 4AM, now with the changes from New Happy and 4AM, now he's the IGL on their team. If the IGL falls here, that could be terrible. But here comes Petrichor Road. They want to go full speed forward. They want to take matters into their own hands.
Yes, they do. And CU will actually make it in. And as we talked about blue zone grenades, but they're actually being used on the side of Tyloo, as now 3 members of Petrichor just on this small 1-story building. Zhao Yang, the only one in front, and the nades are doing a massive amount of damage to Petrichor.
The fact that only 1 falls there is huge. They were all 4 sat on top of each other, but Mill springs out, able to take 1 down in return. Xiao Yang falls. We've seen the impact that Xiao Yang has had here in these late game scenarios. So having him fall early is terrible for Tyloo. Does he commit to the rest here? He might just, because they're going forward on the other side too. And it's going to end outside the city as well.
This actually is starting to favor Petrichor a little bit, though, because of the fact that, they have that still knock on a Zhao Yang, and they were able to get that member up. And so the nade, Summer will find 755, but the trade with Shen.
Couldn't commit to the rest, though. Xiao Yang is still down, so it's a 2 versus 2. The aggressive side is on the side of Petrichor. Shen peeks on over, does find 1. Summer finds 1 on the approach, spots Shen on the other side of the car. Great in the cover that he needs, but falls. In return, and just like that, a 1v1. Chewy is going for the rest and long slows as he has to execute now. You can see he's crawling around Summer, trying to feed in for a cross, but it's not working on Tyloo. Currently at 10 kills, but the rest has come through for Chewy.
And they have to wait. Ixlef, yep, just needed to heal so they could go for that trade. They're going to end up fighting it.
Sonic's taking every single foot of space off of Navi's push the other direction.
That being said, though, Na'Vi has just looked so unstoppable at this point.
Yeah.
10 kills their way, still 3 members up, especially with how many teams were crashing them in the center, because they had been center, but they weren't just sitting there resting on their laurels. They were fighting tooth and nail between Twisted Minds, between the day trade emergency pickup, so they have just been constantly dealing with it. But look,
H1 is ready.
This weapon, again, the MG3 is so devastating. The variable fire rate, especially up close, it will melt players.
Navi, peek over that bridge. I dare you. Peek over that bridge line. Well, there it goes. Ike's left a threat removed for D+, and for Sonics as well, to be honest. We know how dangerous he is. But once again, Menuda able to stand strong in the ball. As we saw him swing around and start trying to clear out the land. I mean, that's also smart use of time for them to not just prone down, but go, they're not doing anything.
Agreed.
Let's just triple check that there's no one behind us. And good thing for them, they cleared out a very big threat in the late game.
Well, again, we wanted them to be more proactive, and we're actually seeing that from them now. So this is wonderful stuff. But Na'Vi now starting to make their approach a little bit. Now they are in circle, and they're very aware of where Sonics must be.
How does D+ get impact in this fight? You'd have to imagine.
I think they wait.
Yes, but how? Like, they have to step at some point. They have to peek out at some point. They have to show presence. They have to try and force Na'Vi to go the other way. If they can do just enough damage to then back off and kind of bait Sonics to make the third-party play early, that's all they have to do. Americano shoots on over. I mean, the H1 and Shrimsy peeks forward. They don't need to do much. If they just sit back and wait, it might just be them without a chance to aggress. But here they come, swinging around the western side. This is huge. This is such... Oh, if they see them, they do. This is so smart.
Oh, but the nade from Alia, but still the damage has been done. It's just on Americano, and you know the Sonics have seen this in the kill feed.
Na'Vi had 3 second places yesterday, but they were all taken away by the Snakes on approach. And now, what was a 3v4, not in Na'Vi's favor, but definitely doable, is Alia all alone, trying to take down the entirety of Sonics, and it just ain't gonna happen. He finds one, but H-Win, and not just let it run wild.
There's something to be said for finishing strong, because at this point, I think it's all but guaranteed that they're probably going to be going through.
Oh, they're 75. They're easily through.
Even if they have some bad games, even if they have some travesty games, they're going to be fine. But
we're talking 50-some points for lower.
Finishing strong, though, is what's very important here, because that is also going to give them confidence against not just being dogs let off the leash, just mindlessly going forward and being aggressive, which, again, they're not doing. They're playing incredibly, but yes, I would love to see them continue this consistency.
Can they bring it home, or do we actually see the 5-time second place Na'Vi get themselves their first win? Na'Vi a little hesitant, of course, knowing that, well, LG tried to get off the hill and were instantly melted. You could see that they were setting up to try and third party, but there was nothing to third party because LG were killed before the first bullet was fired. So we'll see what they can pull off as they're now essentially making their way to the exact same spot where LG died just before.
And yeah, that was disgusting, the speed at which they were able to dispatch LG. As we see just that lone member of E Arena and Larix holding down on that wizard tower. But just Navi's patience really is their greatest weapon.
I would like to see the win percentage thing that we get sometimes of what is the chance of Larix winning this game.
I'd say it's about a solid, like, 3%.
Oh, well, we also gotta say it can't be like the 0.00 because there is this.
Like
the thing is,
the
thing is, the players know. Obviously, don't see these stats that we have on top of the screen, but they know there's 9 alive. They can do the math. There's gotta be at least 2 teams up and running. And now Example goes full speed forward. Uber, oh, I like this play from Expendables once more. They knew Uber was gonna be the guy up above to hold the angle. They don't shoot at the guy immediately. They shoot at the guy set up top. So Expendables do though allow in both Melman and one more, but 777 is hit instantly. Finds one with the P90.
The P90 absolutely disgusting up close, and 777 has been a little quiet this game, but he will do so much damage as he finds a second, and that is it. He'll clean up Na'Vi by himself.
They are absolutely on one. Lyric solo player left alive. Just give it to them at this point. Expendables. Now, if he falls, they have to either wrap back down and try and rest him, which is going to be hard with time working against them, or try and make an aggressive play off it. But with mollies and nades now coming in off of them, they know exactly where their position is. Na'Vi is making a play here. They want to take out Day Trade before having to worry about Tai Lu. And the first nade comes through, taking down Flash.
And that first nade is going to be huge, but as you said, it is going to be Ty Lu, though, that's going to see all this going on.
On fire?
Is there another nade there? It is. It might knock both.
Woo!
No! It takes down Norris, but Belmoth now putting up that deployable shield for whatever cover he can. Puchus has to be a hero right now for these teams.
They have the compound for so long, haven't had to use any utility. As I say that, though, they've also looted here, sat here, and been very limited in how much they could find. Nothing in the hands of Melman. Might have a blue zone nade, might have a flash, but that is going to be it. And look at this dry run up the hillside. They have the smokes blooming for now. You can see Ali is lobbing them from the other side, but it's very, very limited what they have to work with up close when it comes to utility.
Now Ty Lu trying to find the angles, trying to look for an opportunity.
Oh my God.
Nade,
Oh my.
The bounce wasn't good. It was so close to being the nade it needed to be. But 7 kills on the side of Ty Lu, and they will start to push out now as damage is coming back towards the side of Na'Vi.
Melman peeks on over as Example falls back down. Is that got you, buddy? I'll defend. Shen from the other side peeks up and day trade. It looked good for them, but Ty Lu knew exactly when to punch. Longs is trying to wrap underneath. Ty Lu is taking the fight to both these teams at the same time as Shen. With one nade takes out day trade.
And 7 kills on the side of Shen. Longs now with the opportunity to get a knock, but now the advantage is somewhat in the side of Na'Vi as they throw a nade, barreling past Longs, and they realize this. I love this going for the trade.
Alia, damage done from Shen up above, so he's going to have to stop for a moment. Example trying to get at least just some heals on foot. We saw Longs just before. I don't think he has any spare bullets left in his weapon. He has no vest either. He has 4 nades. Now is the time to use your utility, my friend. You won't get more chances than this.
Shen spots one. Not that many bullets. Oh, he's 9 bullets.
Oh, he can't get the flush on him either, or the takedown at least. Example now revving on forward, catches him with a nade in hand. That nade is going to be good, though, at least some damage done. But Alia able to get heal that up fast enough, and maybe they're just going to have to concede this because they don't have anything to fight with.
Shen also only has, I think, 62 reserve rounds in his weapon. Longs just
if you're Longs here, you just have to bait the attention. You have to say, Shen, I know it's a tall order, but you got to pull off a hero playmate. I'm going to yell, I'm going to scream, I'm going to wave my arms in the air and have them look my way. But you better find 2 instantly or we won't win this game.
The problem is, though, Na'Vi is now realizing they have the advantage. They're taking control of the center dot now. There is a crate there. Oh! That nade was massive! All of a sudden, it's a 2v1.
He has 1 mag, not even a quarter mag to work with, but 1 nade takes down 2, and just like that, the game turns in that favor. Now it's the other side.
Circles end to the southeast of range, shooting range before, and they're always just so difficult to keep alive.
Now the solos will fight for third, but in the end it's most likely, or should at least, be a Expendables versus a question mark finish here in this one. Americano sprays on through, out of bullets he is, as he swings it over to the mini 987, make that nice headshot, comes through, finds Melman, and now I think he's realizing as well that it's probably me versus the world, and not that that means he should die by any, like just forfeit it, because there could be a misread somewhere. It could be 4 teams alive, so might as well just drone it on out. And you know what? I mean, if somehow question mark ups to Rap South, if they start a fight early with Expendables, because they're starting to flex out as well, Americano might just get to creep in from behind again. If we're predicting end games, if we're trying to best the previous matches, Americano wins this game.
That would definitely be...
With a pan throw.
With a pan... Okay, now you're just getting greedy. But yes, Americano, I mean, he's still very much, especially as you said, if the team of question mark Rap South. I also want to point out how much more important this game is for question mark than even D plus Kia, especially obviously the Expendables. They're fine.
Also, yeah, exactly. The Expendables, they've been chilling for a good while. Question mark, not quite so much. No. So how much time have they had to actively track the leaderboard? Do they know that it's a 4-man Expendables and a solo in D plus Kia? Or are they maybe thinking they could be 2 for D plus Kia? Because they're very, very respectful of the angle up towards Americano. Now, of course, there is also the potential that Expendables could peek on over, but you can see question mark very hesitant in trying to make a play. So maybe they're thinking it's a 3-2. They're up against another 4-1. I would assume that they know, since a lot of the kills on D plus Kia came from question mark. But even then, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like if they knew it was a solo, they probably would have been a little more aggressive pushing towards that north side. Yeah, but I mean, even if it is a 3-on-2, they are still playing this fairly cautiously, putting Best of Luck down to the south. But again, it's that angle is just being covered so well by the Expendables.
That was the angle. That was the scout to secure the area for them. And now question mark is running right into the open arms of Expendables. They're tracing this entire journey into the compound. Out they go. The good thing for question mark is the entirety of Expendables have left the compound, but here comes the nades, here comes the push from the team from APAC.
And Tanfu getting a beautiful spray transfer, and this team is is just continuing to dominate the field.
There is just no stopping these guys. They're on one. Never have I seen a team play with this amount of confidence. They're spreading out. They're claiming absolutely everything for themselves. They come off of the first Erangel of today, 12-kill win. Now they're looking at finding a 9-kill one if they can get Americano here, which you can only imagine that Delvin with the FAMAS in hand should be able to do.
Americano, I don't know if he's looking at him. Oh, he's just shooting him in the back, and
it's GG.
That's going to be GG.